Okay, I think we can get started and people will join in as we go. So welcome everyone to this third session. I think we can get started and people will join in as we go. So welcome everyone to discuss about programs in the undergraduate programs in biotechnology and biochemical engineering, chemical engineering, material science and engineering, and textile engineering. So these are the four sort of programs that we'll discuss in this session. And we have Professor Ritu Kulshrestha from the Department of Biochemical Engineering and Biotechnology, IIT Delhi. And we also have Professor Nityanand Goswami, who is from the Department of Material Science and Engineering, IIT Delhi. And we'll have faculty members from Textile Engineering and I think they'll be joining. So let's get started. So Ritu, if you would like to introduce yourself and talk about the program that your department offers.
Hi. Hi everybody. So I'm Professor Ritu Kulshrestha from, like he told, from Biochemical Engineering and Biotech. And the department has, as of now, 16 faculty. And we also have one visiting professor as well as one honorary professor. So this is the total strength of faculty in the department. And we are running 3 programs currently. One is BTech. In Biochemical Engineering and Biotechnology. Then we have MS Research Program, and then we have a PhD program. And the faculty, they are working in very diverse fields because biotech, it's a very, very vast subject. So we have many forms of biotech in many areas like pharmaceutical biotechnology, medical biotechnology, agriculture biotechnology, bioinformatics. There's so many different areas. So the faculty also, they're working in very wide range of areas, ranging from cancer biology, soil microbiology, environmental technology, wastewater treatment technology, biophysics and bioinformatics, and data science and engineering. So we have faculty who are working in very vast areas. That's what I wanted to convey. And I'm open for questions actually.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Ritu. I'd like to request Professor Nityanand Goswami if he could introduce himself briefly and talk about the material science, materials engineering program. I think it was launched last year.
You're right. Yeah, I think he's on mute, Nityanand.
Yes, sorry. So can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to discuss just a brief overview of what the Department of Material Science is all about. First of all, our department is very new. It started in 2018. And the reason to start the Material Science Department is the Realization Institute had the need of materials for every technology which we develop today. It requires materials. So earlier the material research was there in the institute. Material related activities were there in the institute, scattered across several departments. But then the institute decided that since material is such a critical area for development of any kind of product, any kind of technology, you need materials. So it has to be much more focused. Department should be there in the institute. That's how we started the department. And we started the department focusing on a couple of thrust areas. One is structural materials like metallic system, metals, because if you think of big structures, bridges, or if you talk about airplanes, automotive, it's all metals have big role to play, metals and alloys. If you talk about big industries, or if you have to create technological expertise for catering to big metal industries, which are one of the biggest industries in the country, you need focus program for that. Second focus of the department is polymer materials. Polymer also is a very important area because plastics have grown enormously in terms of applications in various sectors because they are lightweight and flexible. There are many products you might have come across which have polymers as major components. So polymer technology is another focus area of the department. Third very important area which we are focusing on is electronic materials. So if you think of devices, transistors, your cell phones, laptops, all kind of electronic devices, they require development and understanding of electronic materials. Okay, so that is another very big sector which requires material research in focusing on electronic properties of material. And fourth focus area of the department is computational material science. So all the three verticals I have mentioned, they all require understanding of material structure and properties at the atomistic level. That is not possible always with experimental tools. So you need to do computational research to develop real insight into the material properties and how they can be understood for applying to certain applications. So our department has started with these 4 focus areas, and within each focus area, there are people working for different kind of application. For example, in metals and alloys, we are working on lightweight materials. We are working on high strength materials or high temperature application materials. In polymers, we are working on bio-focused material, bio applications. We are working on smart polymeric materials and processing of different kind of polymeric materials, synthesis for filtration, membranes, all those kind of very critical areas which are relevant for the environment, for controlling pollution in the environment, things like that. So yeah, it's a very broad focus. Of course, in electronic materials also, all kind of devices, there are projects running from DRDOs to develop several kind of sensors. So those kind of areas we are looking at. So overall, we have 2 master's program. One is focusing on polymeric materials, polymer technology, and other master's program is focusing on structural materials and functional materials. And we have an undergraduate program which has courses ranging from structural materials to polymeric materials to electronic materials and computational materials. And so all 4 verticals are covered in the BTech curriculum. It's up to the student to decide what is their focus area, where they want to go in terms of job prospects or in terms of research. All areas and our major areas are covered in the program. Apart from that, if you have any additional information you want to get, please let me know.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Nitya. So, I think we don't have any faculty from Textile yet. So are there any student volunteers from Textile who would like to talk about the Textile program?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sanskriti. I'm a 3rd year undergraduate from Textile Technology. So basically, in Textile Technology, what we study is all about fibers, yarns, and different types of materials used in spinning. We study different types of processes that is used to make a cloth or a fabric. So yeah, so like we have different courses where we are taught about how we make fabrics from raw materials and what is done after them after the manufacture, and like the strength, their tenacity, and all the properties of fabric. We study all these things in this. Apart from that, we have it isn't that much of we can consider, like you guys can consider textile technology because you get a lot of time to focus on other extra currics also. Like you can focus on different things while pursuing this. So yeah, I guess.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Sanskriti. So we also have Professor Sridevi Upadhyayulu from Chemical Engineering.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Professor Sridevi, if you could introduce yourself and the Chemical Engineering programs.
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you all. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we have in this chemical engineering, we have 7-level courses and 4-level courses, and all of the 4-level courses are for the undergrads. We teach subjects like heat transfer, fluid mechanics, heat transfer, mass transfer, transport phenomena of momentum, mass, and heat, and reaction engineering, thermodynamics. So some of these you must have been taught in the 11th and 12th classes. So in the second year, these chemical engineering subjects start. So we have introduction to chemical engineering in the first year or in the third semester, and that introduces you to all these subjects first, and also how chemical engineering is useful and I mean in the society. All this is taught in the introduction to chemical engineering. We also have this dual degree program, so that is a 5-year course. So it's wherein you do the master's project, which extends for about 3 semesters, and that will be good industrial projects if you choose well. We know with a supervisor at IIT and a supervisor in any of the industries that have allowed you to do the project with, like BPCL. So IIT Delhi is blessed with industries all around. So you have BPCL, you have IOCL, we have Halda Top, so we have UOP. Also, all these industries are around IIT. So henceforth, it's easy. It's easy to get an industrial project, which will expose you to the actual chemical engineering processes that take place at the industry scale. Not just the small laboratories that you were exposed to till in your chemistry labs so far. So this is the additional thing that the dual degree people will be doing. So this is it, and I hope you enjoy your stay here. This is about our chemical engineering department. Any questions? You're welcome to ask.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So maybe we can take questions now. So if you have questions, please feel free to raise your hand, and then we can. Yeah, Ashna.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Sir, I just had a query regarding the biotechnology. I wanted to know what is the scope of the course, and then on top of that, what kind of jobs and what companies are coming at IIT Delhi.
Yeah, Ritu, would you like to take that?
Yes. That's Ashna, right? Hi, Ashna.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah. See, the scope for biotech is very huge because I told it's a very vast subject. You can understand that in medical biotechnology, in bioinformatics, in agriculture sector, in let's say forensic sector, all these sectors, biotechnology means you will find jobs there. And especially, for bioinformatics program, I can definitely say that because there's so much of data being generated, so or let's say genomes being sequenced, be it plant genomes, be it human genomes, so there's a lot of demand for the same. And with respect to this COVID, this whole process also, you must have understood that how much is the scope for biotech, the whole vaccine industry, and for diagnostics, these antibodies, these real-time PCR things, all that is related to biotech. So there is a huge scope. Then with respect to the job, I can say that many students, they go for higher studies abroad or within India also. And apart from that, some of them, they go for data scientist job, analytical job. Then some are going for consultancy in various sectors. They are not limited to core. I will not say that all students, they go for the core courses, core industry only. But then I also see a trend that many students, they go as consultants, be it in banks or various sectors. So apart from that, anything else you want to ask? Did you get an idea where what you asked? Did you get the answer for the same?
Yes, ma'am. I think I got a good overview of what the course would, what the scope of the course would be. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. Welcome. And best wishes, Ashna.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Avni Janged.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So my question is again to Ritu ma'am.
Haji, yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon.
Ma'am, I'm a bit confused over this branch as my parents think it is a comparatively new branch, and they think that rather than taking a new branch, you should take some old branch which is there from like many years so that the industry is set up and like you have all the options. So rather than going for a new branch, choose the old branches. So, ma'am, but I think this seems a good option. So, can you
Biotech is
please?
a very, very happening branch, I can tell you. Especially in current times, biotech sector will take up in a very big way.
Okay, ma'am.
Means I think regarding the branch, you should not have any. See, obviously, one thing is that you should go for which subject you want to pursue, rather than what is happening and what is not happening. There is something that is some areas that you want to pursue. I think obviously you should go for those. But if you have some double mind with respect to biotech or bioprocess engineering sector, please don't have any doubts regarding the same, because it is a means a very good branch, and especially in current times, you will see a big growth in this sector, be it for bioinformatics, like I told you, or in this therapeutic options or vaccine technology. All of these sections, for sure, it will be very good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Take care. Take care. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Shaili Gupta. Oh, Shaili Gupta, sorry.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, I had a query regarding biotech only. It was like how much free time we could manage with that course, and extra curriculum, how much we could do that. Apart from the core branch, if we want to pursue something else, we can manage time over that or not.
ये अपने सीनियर से पूछो क्या करना है यूपीएससी.
No, ma'am, I'm not very decided over that thing, but I guess I'm not sure about it. I'll have to look in the future. When I get into the college, I want to explore more options as well.
See, if it is related to biotech, I can say that for extra reading and all, students do get time and they go for internships and all. But with respect to what area you are thinking about, from my side, I don't have any answer for the same.
Ma'am, I guess I can help her out with it.
Again?
I can probably help her out with it. Could you just go again with your question? As in, could you be a bit more specific?
Like if I want to pursue something in entrepreneurship.
Right.
Okay.
So how much free time I can manage with that?
So, look, if you're not interested in research, then I guess the branch does provide you ample amount of time to focus on other things as well. So it won't be ki course load itna zyada ho gaya that you cannot do anything else that you want to pursue. The college does give you ample amount of time to try different things, and matlab, if you want to go for research, I believe that biotech would be a huge field to explore itself. So when you come to college, you'll realize that you're getting enough time. If you want to go for entrepreneurship, you'll get multiple clubs in the college where you can develop those skills as well. And the course will be manageable for you. It is not extremely tough that you won't be able to manage it with the other things that you want to take up. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, the department also have that entrepreneurship course also. Because
yes.
we also want that the students should have this, some exposure to this particular field as well.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Ria.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I wanted to know about the difference between chemical engineering and material science. Like, which branch is more a job perspective, which has more opportunity And also in research field, if we want to go, which has more opportunities?
Yeah, Professor Sridevi or Nitya, do you
Yeah, I
want?
think both of us have to answer. So I'll answer the chemical engineering part, and Nitya Nand will answer the, I think, the materials probably. So is it okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So coming to your question, you want to know the differences. I mean, there are differences, very marked differences, and there are similarities as well. So if you take up, so chemical engineering, it deals with chemical reactions that are to be scaled up to the industry level so that you are getting your products, like your puff. I mean your cosmetics and all these. They go through some chemical processing at a very large scale, tons per day scale. That is how you're getting your petrol and your all these gasoline and all these. So when you have to process these on a large scale, obviously you need many materials, especially for the reaction to be conducted. They're catalyst, and I'm sure every one of you are conversant with the word catalyst. In the chemistry, in the chemistry subject, you must have gone through this. So this catalyst is a material. So that is where these material scientists come in, or a knowledge of material chemistry is gets important. But alone, the materials will not make any impact in this branch, because unless you know how to use that material for this reaction. Okay, so this kind of mapping is very important. So you are connected to materials, right? But materials which are important to your reaction or to your chemical engineering process is the one that we deal with. So this is how we are connected to materials. So we don't make materials and say use them, but we check the use, the ultimate one, what we want, the ultimate product from a chemical engineering plant or a big industry, and then go backward and see what materials are to be connected into this, so that I can make this product that I want. Okay, so this is the thing. So naturally, you will have material science as a subject, but you will majorly be studying the whole process engineering subjects, like as I said, yeah, the thermodynamics of the process, or the reaction engineering, the transport phenomena, because you have to pump huge types of fluids or solids and everything. So this fluid mechanics and heat and mass transfer, because you need to know what how to conduct a reaction at high pressures or low pressures, or high temperatures or low temperatures. So this is how you will all these, plus of course process engineering, that is you design a plant design engineering, that is you have to design the whole plant. So it's not just a lab wherein you use a beaker and a stirrer and a small trinect flask and all this. So you need to have big pressure vessels that will work in the plant at that production rate. So these are the things that you will focus on, but the materials are still connected in the way that I have just told you. Okay, over to, I think, Professor Nityananda to tell about the material science.
Yeah, I'm audible.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, so material science, as Professor just explained, there's some common things as well with material science and chemical engineering. But when you come to material science, the curriculum is focusing on understanding structure, properties of materials, and application of materials. So in terms of job prospects, we cater to industries which are making materials. For example, aluminum industry or steel industry, which are one of the biggest industries in the country. And in those industries, material science, how to process the material, how to refine the material, how to make special materials. For example, for fighter jets, some special properties are required for materials, right? Bulletproof jackets, some special properties are required. How will you design such materials, what kind of properties you need. So you need a comprehensive understanding of structure and properties of materials. That's what we focus on in the curriculum. Or for example, if you want to make a transistor, if you want to make a very efficient device or sensor, again, all the material aspects will be focusing on in this in our department. And in a big industry, there is a need of all kind of engineers, right? There is chemical engineering, improving the property of the material itself to make it more efficient for certain reaction, to make it more superior for certain product, uh, things like that. So in terms of big industries, we have people who are in the faculty who have experience working with steel industry, aluminum industry, polymer companies like Reliance. They want to understand how to process polymers, right? How to make this polymeric material into particular shape, how to make certain design out of that polymer. So that also we cover, designing product from certain materials. What kind of material is suitable for a particular product or a particular design? So that also we cover. So material selection and design. So if you think of any product in mind, suppose you want to make a laptop case, for example. So which material will be suitable for that design? What kind of properties the material is you require for that application? How to design that? What will be the cost? So all those material focused aspects. Yeah. So this is application in variety of industries, ranging from, for example, defense sector. There are particular few labs in DRDO which are focusing on materials only. So they are developing different kind of alloys for turbine blades, for bulletproof jackets, for aircrafts. So everything when it is which is specific to developing advanced materials with specific properties, that's where we come into play. If you talk about automotive industry, there are research labs, right? So they are looking at continuously what kind of material they can use to make the car more, the body of the car stronger, so that if there is an accident, it doesn't, the passenger is safe. So there are team of material engineers in that research team who is looking at searching for better and better materials at a lower cost and designing it into some particular shape to be used in that vehicle. And if there is a failure, so failure and reliability is one of the another very important area, like how to make a product more reliable. So what is reliability? Usually it's a material failure, right? If your cell phone battery suppose catches fire, so there is a lot of material issue. How do you make it more reliable for a long duration? If there is a failure in the jet engine, there is something has gone wrong with the material also, right? So reliability engineering is a big area. So that's also where material engineers come into play. One very important area is computer chips, processors. So every year you might have heard of now new generation of processor is being used. It's faster, more energy efficient. A lot of material science research is going into realizing that you have processor with 7 nanometer technology and all sorts of word which you would have heard. That comes from designing or making the material in that particular dimension and then characterizing it, making it reliable, making it more energy efficient. So material also, engineering material research is very critical there. So we cater to industries ranging from metal industry to defense industry to electronic industry. Materials scientists and researchers and materials engineers have very important role in all those sectors. Any thing which I have not covered? If you still have any questions, yeah, please let me know.
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Professor Mangala Joshi is here from Textile Engineering. Professor Joshi, would you like to introduce yourself and the BTech program? I think you're muted. You'll have to unmute.
Yeah. So hello everyone. I am Mangala Joshi from Department of.
I think you got muted again.
Is it okay now? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I am from Department of Fiber and Textile Engineering, and we have a BTech course in Textile Technology, and we have 3 MTech programs. So one is in Textile Chemical Processing, Textile Engineering, and then Fiber Science and Technology. The textile department at IIT Delhi is unique in the sense that among all the IITs in India, we are the only textile department in the country. And as you know, textiles is one very important sector for India, because after agriculture, it employs the largest number of people. It gives employment. Plus, we do a lot of earning of from the export of textiles. Textile industry in India has been, always there, because India is known for its textiles. But recently, now we have moved into technical textile areas. And technical textiles are those textiles which are not used in common layman, the apparel, the clothing, apparel, furnishings, carpets. But these technical textiles go into very technical applications, like geotextiles, which go under the soil. Then there are protective textiles, which are used by our soldiers who are working under extreme heat or extreme cold conditions like Siachen. So a special clothing for that. Then people who are, firefighters suit, who are working. Then, there can be a lot of medical textiles. Medical textiles means a lot of medical implants. Even one small example is a suture, which is used to try the wound. Even a suture is a textile fiber. So, now there is a lot of interest in medical textiles in terms of wound dressings, in terms of implants like hernia mash, which is an implant, is again a textile product. A lot of work on tissue engineering is being done, where tissue engineering means tissue engineering can be, change the future of medical science, because if any organ is diseased or not functioning, then a new organ from the healthy cells can be grown, and they are grown on materials which are nothing but textile scaffolds. So then, a lot of applications in automotive, even in form of high performance fibers like carbon fiber, glass fiber, going into composites, which composites, nowadays your cars, your aircrafts are much lighter, because a lot of composites have replaced the metals, traditional metals. So they are lighter, they are more fuel efficient. So all high performance fibers goes into that. Then bulletproof jacket, is one thing which helps the soldiers to protect from bullet. These are all nothing but, technical textile products. So now the government has, set up a national technical textile mission, and government is giving a lot of emphasis on textile industry to set up into new areas of technical textile. So textile is a very growing field. It is, I can say, a part of material science, but also engineering, because textile fibers are nothing but polymeric materials. And all our natural fibers are the, cotton, silk, wool. These are also polymers, but these are natural polymers, biopolymers. So, there is a lot of interest in terms of research. Now, a lot of, I work in, for example, nanotechnology applications in textiles. So I'm using, exploring how nano materials can be incorporated into textiles to give different functionalities like antimicrobial textiles or UV resistant textiles or fire retardant textiles. So, then even I am working with DRDO, we are doing in our department, we are having a group which is working on defense applications of textiles. So like the protective clothing, the bulletproof clothing. I am working on making coated and laminated textile for aerostat and airships. This is nothing but a coated textile fabric. So, there are lots of challenges which our country at the time needs to move into technical textiles. And I think as more young engineers, who have a passion for textiles, they come up, I think there is a lot of potential of moving into research as well as entrepreneurship. Let me say that one of my PhD students, we have, she was so much inclined to use her technology. She got a grant for startup and she has a startup company. And we started with, a different objective of antimicrobial water containers. But at the time, pandemic happened. And immediately we thought like the need of the hour is to make I'm talking about May 2020. And March it had started. And then we launched on 5th of May, we launched an antimicrobial, reusable, washable mask and safe mask in the market. So, and then we are moving into different directions then. So, this PhD student having a startup company, now it's almost 1.5 to 2 years. She has diversified into many areas. So what I'm trying to say is that textile and fiber engineering is a very upcoming area. The department is very active. I think we have got lots of sponsored projects to do research. The faculty is involved into active research in technical textiles and polymers and things like that. So I think you will, if you join textile at IIT, it will be a very interesting area to pick up. And there will be a lot of opportunities for you to learn, grow, join the industry. But let me tell you, as far as our undergraduates are concerned, in many other disciplines also, the 60-70% go into non-core areas. They go into non-core areas just because the salary packages may be very high there. But let me tell you, about average package which an undergraduate from textile gets is about 10 to 12 or 10 to 15 LPA. Some of them get into very good jobs, but there are very few who may get much higher package also. But they may go into non-core areas like finance or analytics or, all those areas, right? Consulting. But textile industry is also now poised to give a lot of opportunities to our bright young engineers who will be coming out. Okay, so any questions if you have, then you can ask. The department is very well equipped. A lot of research facilities through projects have been set up. So there are a lot of interesting opportunities for research. Some people want to go and do PhD abroad because they get interested at the BTech. When they do their BTech projects, they get interested. Some of my own BTech project students went abroad, US, and they did their PhDs and they are now doing very well in big companies. So if you have any questions, you can ask me and I'll be able to answer them if I know about them. So any other questions you want to ask?
Yeah, thank you, Professor Joshi. So if the audience has any questions, please raise your hand. And so one thing I would like to sort of bring up is, so you mentioned there is a lot of research scope in textile area.
Yeah.
Let's say somebody just does a BTech and doesn't want to go into research or higher studies. Are there sufficient opportunities in India or abroad for such a student?
Yes. There is, in industry, there are big companies, textile companies who are hiring, like Trident, Arvind, Reliance. Reliance takes little less textile engineers. They want more chemical engineers. But there are now big textile, Wellspan, Vardhaman. There are very big companies in textiles. And I think that, as I told you, textile is the second largest industry after agriculture. So there are a lot of work opportunities even in the industry as R&D team or in production. So it is there. But the people's interest is there, because what happens, textile industry means initial jobs would be on if you are into R&D team or product development, then you will be associated with or quality assurance, it's okay. But if you are into production, then initially you may have to be on the shop floor to learn. So it all depends on the interest of the students. But everybody, even a big manager, starts from a shop floor. He learns and then he rises high. So it depends on the interest of the students. Because in IIT, we are so open to, like a textile student also has got the equal opportunity to do courses in management, in computer science. And they take courses of their interest. And that helps them to, change. When they take up a job, they can take into non-core areas. So that possibility is also there.
Sure, yeah. And could you also talk a little bit about the type of courses? Is it more lab-based? Is it more theory in the textile program? What sort of...
Yeah, I'll tell you. So there are both core courses. So in core courses, there are theory courses on, say, for example, there are 4 areas in textile engineering. One is yarn making, spinning. That is yarn making, from fiber to yarn. So then there are big labs associated with it. So there will be a theory course on spinning, and then there will be a lab on spinning. So we have all facilities. Then there is another area is fabric manufacturing. So then there will be a theory course on fabric manufacturing technology. Then there will be a lab on fabric manufacturing technology. Similarly, then there is, fiber science and technology. So what are the different textile fibers? What are their structure and properties? Is the fibers in the lab? Okay, then there'll be a man-made fiber technology. How do you make synthetic fibers like polyester, nylon? The polymerization first of polyester and nylon. Then there'll be a lab. Then again on the spinning lab. So with every theory course, which is a core course, generally there is an associated lab. Okay, and then there are a lot of electives, a very good basket of electives we offer. Like, for example, I offer an elective course on science and applications of nanotechnology in textiles, which is a very popular course in last 10 years, which I've been teaching, because it's a research base. So those who want to go into research, or even otherwise also, so they take up this course. Then there is a course on clothing science and comfort. There is a course on technical textiles. There is a course on simulation and modeling. Then so many different elective courses are there. Eco-friendly, sustainability in textiles, eco-friendly processing of textiles, environmental management in textiles. So there are lots of courses, elective courses, and then of course open category course students are taking from different departments. So they are taking from computer science, they are taking from management, and so on and so forth. So then at the end of, in the 4th year, you have a BTech project. So there is a BTP part 1 and then BTP part 2 that you do in the 4th year in 2 semesters. There you get an opportunity. You get associated with the faculty, and then you have to take up a project and then work in the lab. And then if you are interested enough, then you take up BTP part 2, and then you learn to work in the lab. Sometimes you are also sent to the industry for doing some testing. So that's how, sometimes people in the internships, they go to the industry for training. So that kind of things are there. So we have a good number of labs. then we have product development and design course, where students are doing a very innovative product designing and development. So these type of courses are there, and I think that way there is a lot of scope in textile, because textile is so interdisciplinary. So, a professor from textile can join with a professor in civil engineering in design of a geotextile. Like if you are laying a canal, for example, if you are laying a canal, then, when you are laying a canal, then, there will be a geotextile to, reinforce the banks, the side walls, so that silting doesn't occur, Then, so these kinds of applications are there. We do a lot of work jointly with other departments also. Like with mechanical engineering, people are working textile with mechanical engineering, because textile machinery development is all mechanical. So those kind of interdisciplinary projects are very highly possible in textile. Suppose medical textiles. Now, in medical textiles, if you are doing tissue engineering, or if you are developing any kind of a medical textile, then you need to work with doctors. That is why we have many projects with doctors of AIIMS or other medical colleges, because we will develop a product, but whether it is suitable for the body, whether it is compatible with the body, or how does it work, all that testing has to be done by medical people, or by, like I used to have a collaboration with Professor Prashant Mishra, who is in Biochemical, for antimicrobial testing. So in textiles, one good thing is that there is a lot of scope of interdisciplinary kind of work. So that is there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Ananya Srivastav, do you have a question?
Yeah, I had this doubt. Electives are same as minors, right?
No. Your BTech program will also have some electives from within the department, right? So there are open electives as well, which can be outside, which will be outside the department. But there are going to be department electives as well. So minor is something that you choose to do, whether you want to do or not, right? But department electives and open electives are sort of, there is a certain number of credits that you have to do as part of your BTech program. But minor area is something that you choose based on your interest. If you want to do a minor in computer science, or minor in management, etc., so that is optional, and you choose. And so again, you have to do an additional set of courses. So they're different electives.
Okay. So electives are like, so they're specific to my branch, or I can take electives related to other branches as well?
Yes.
Oh, I can. Okay.
Yeah.
And minor, I can take others. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So can I just add processation?
Yeah, please.
So electives would be in two categories. One is department elective, one is open elective. So the department electives you can choose from the department. So certain credits you have to complete in that, and then there are open electives. So the open electives you can choose from any department, anywhere, whatever is your interest. Right? Processation, I think.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Isha Agarwal. Isha, do you have a question? Ria?
Yes, sir. Sir, I had a query about placements and job opportunities. Like, I am getting computer science in NIT Surathkal, and I'm also getting chemical engineering in IIT Delhi. So, which would be better in terms if I am looking for job opportunities, placements, and exposure, all these things?
So, Ria, the placement scenario for BTechs from here is 100%. It has been 100% so long. Yes, so but not in the core sector. So many of our bachelors in chemical engineering, I think for the past about 7 years or 8 years, even more than 10 years, have not been going much into the core chemical engineering. So they are going into data analytics and banks and wherever, consulting and even cyber, companies and all that. So it's okay to, so you don't need to here. So the placement, as you said about the placement, is 100%. But placement into core is by choice. I think the students were not preferring core because the starting salaries, as I think Professor Mangala Joshi has put in, the starting salaries in the core sectors, in the core engineering companies is less. While the students look for a big pay package and which is offered by these consulting and these computer science, SAP companies and all these kind of companies. So henceforth, they are attracted, to Google and all these. However, in the long run, when the pay packet, initially there is a big this thing encouraging. The pay packet is the most encouraging thing. After, I think, a little bit of maturity from the student side, 3-4 years down the lane, then they would probably think of switching over to more their aptitude where it lies, and then they find that core would have been better and all. So these kind of feedback also we have got, and I have seen many students after about. Madam, can you please give us recommendation? We are going for higher studies now into the core and based on our core engineering, and then settle down in that. So money is not the only thing. That is how we have got, and I'm sure other colleagues, my other colleagues also have got such experiences. So this is about the placement scenario. So, but if you are really the aptitude right from the beginning is towards computer science, you want to go, then chemical engineering, I should tell you frankly that for 4 years, there's not much computer science as such, but we do use computer engineering in chemical engineering applications. A lot of mathematics goes into this, a lot of computational knowledge goes into this. But when you have to, if you have to, after this, you have to compete with the computer science graduates in a computer science engineering core, company, then maybe there will be a difficulty. So it's up to you to make a choice based on this. Did I help? I mean, did my answer help you a bit?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My doubt got cleared. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, plus, I think I should add that Professor Seshan has clarified that you can always do a core subject with a minor in something else which is your, close to your heart. So that flexibility is there in the system. So a major in chemical engineering with a minor in, management or computers or all these is okay. I think is doable.
And I would personally suggest you to take chemical from IIT Delhi, because when I came to IIT, most of the seniors told me that chemical is the best branch, and I experienced that because you get a lot more exposure when you are in chemical. You can manage your academics as well as other activities. Like I'm doing entrepreneurship also, so I can manage my academic as well as entrepreneurship. Also, there are lot of companies open for chemical branch. Like there are many companies that are totally on core basis, like Gale, P&G, and chemical student also goes for technical as well as consulting, analytics. So I would say chemical is very much better than taking CS from that NIT. That's my personal experience.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Shivanshi Arora.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to ask that from 2020 to 2021, has there been an increase in the supernumerary seats for the women candidates in IIT Delhi?
No, so the supernumerary seats are, as far as I understand, is always fixed at 20%, right? So, gradually we had increased. I think we already reached the 20%, although many of those seats are not getting filled. From the data that I have seen, out of 20%, probably just 13 or 14% are getting filled overall. across. If you look at all the UG programs together, in some branches it gets filled, in some it doesn't.
All right. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Isha Agarwal.
Sorry, sir, I was not able to unmute my mic earlier.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So I had a doubt regarding the minors. So are the minors only for our interest, or do they help in placements or for higher studies?
So it definitely helps in terms of higher studies. If you minor area, then it definitely, the grades in those courses will reflect on your transcript. And perhaps if you do also a project in co-supervised by a person in that particular department, that will also help. Maybe that person could also give you a recommendation letter. So in terms of higher studies, it definitely helps. Jobs, I'm not so sure it helps, because the students may also add to this, but I think minor area is not really considered in terms of when you go for placements. But of course, if you have the skills for it, you will be able to clear the exams. And I think in one of the earlier sessions today, students did mention that 90 to 95% of the companies are open to all undergraduate students. So if you have the necessary skills to clear the interview and the tests and the interviews, you can apply to pretty much any job.
Yes. So I think let me add to what Professor Seshan is telling. So I have a first-hand experience with one of the students here. He used to come to my house as well. So he was in production. He's got a seat in production engineering here. But eventually, I think by the second year or so, he came to know that he's really not very happy with being a production engineer. Production engineering is not close to his heart and all. Then he started to pursue, I think, a minor in computer engineering. And finally, he has migrated to, so he has got a job based on Mumbai-based job based on the minor, the computer engineering that he has completed. And then he is now into I think another job now. He has, I think, served that company for about 3-4 years, and then now he's now taking up another in Bangalore. So he probably wants to finally, after about 3-4 jobs, 3 years experience each of 4 years, he would like to start his own company. That's his. That's what he says. So I think this may be of some help to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Ananya Srivastav.
Yes, I had another doubt. So according to my rank, I was getting chemical 5 years and I was getting materials. So I put materials above because 5 years seemed like a lot. So my doubt is that, is there a provision to upgrade from 5-year program to a 4-year program, or can the 5-year integrated person upgrade to only other 5-year integrated programs?
No, so the branch change that one becomes eligible for after the end of the first year,
yes,
which is a competitive process, you can move from 5-year to 4-year or 4-year to 5-year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Also, is there any site where the electives of all branches, of all departments are given, listed?
Yeah, I'll share that in the chat box. I hope you can see the chat box at least.
I'm not able to access it.
We are not able to even see what is.
No.
Okay, if you go to the main IIT webpage, IIT Delhi webpage.
Yes.
You will see a link at the very top for students. And there below that, you will see something called curriculum information.
Yes.
Yeah, so there you can click on the courses of study for the year 2021-22. So that is like a huge document, probably 300-400 pages.
Okay.
But that contains all the details of UG programs, the postgraduate programs also. So this is not a document only for UG students. You'll have to search a little bit if you are interested in, let's say, materials. Then you just search for the material science program is called MS1. So if you just do Control F on that PDF and search for MS1.
Means biotech and textile and IITD, should I consider it? Means I want to know the scope.
Material science, and which one did you say?
Biotech.
Okay. So already, Professor Nityanand Goswami and Professor Ritu had talked about the scope of these programs. So
yeah, actually, I don't have anything else to add. We've already told you the scope of both the programs in detail, and then I think it's your interest in which subject that you want to go for.
And ma'am, I also want to know about the flexibilities, of course.
With respect to?
Ma'am, like in IIT Kanpur, they have like double major types.
Dr. Shri Rangarajan.
yeah, major is something I'm not very familiar with. If that is very common in IIT Delhi or not.
No, I've not heard about double major actually.
That is similar to our minor, what we offer. So it's analogous, but we have not said major because it's because this is only a minor, and the one wherein the 4 year the student joins the 4-year course is the actual major. So henceforth we termed it as minor, but they did it as apart from that some other majors. Probably that is how it is. So that minor they are calling another major.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, will I get the recording of the session?
You have usually you see the systems are more or less same. Some terminologies and naming will be slightly different, but you won't have a very so the usually the decisions of course, curriculum, and all these are taken at a common level. That's the reason. So some kind of changes in local changes in the naming and all that may be a little different. That's it.
It on the IIT Delhi YouTube channel later today or tomorrow.
So,
okay, thank you, sir.
I would just like to add, this session is already live streamed on YouTube, so it would be staying there after that, I think. So
okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Need to put it. The morning session is also there, so if anyone want to revisit.
Yes. Yeah, Shivanshi Arora.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a question? I saw your hand was up.
No, sir, I got it clear. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Anybody else has? So the student volunteers, you want to add anything? Sanskriti, Rupesh, Ashi. Yeah, Anushka, yeah, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Yes. Sir, I just want to know how much free time do we get if we'll pursue textile engineering?
Okay, so I'll take that. Yeah. So you can get an ample amount of time if you're pursuing textile technology. As like I myself is involved in like many clubs and different activities. So you don't have to study every time. You can get an ample amount of time to do extracurriculars, to get involved in different clubs and different activities, sports, cultural, or any other that you may like. So like there's nothing of that sort that you are always stuck up in studies or assignments or quizzes. You get an ample amount of time for your extracurriculars and yourself. Like.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Shivanshi Arora.
Yes, sir. So when is the offline hope to continue offline mode?
Oh, you mean okay, the teaching and
physical classes?
Okay.
Right.
So it's happening in a phased manner. So students are being allowed to come to campus and stay in the hostels in a phased manner. So already we have in IIT Delhi about 1,500 undergraduate students who are in the hostels. So we are going in a slow and phased manner just because the fact that there's still COVID around the world. Don't know when internet at home or other difficulties taking online classes from home, we are allowing them to come to campus.
Okay, sir.
Okay, anybody else has any other questions? Yeah, Kashish Goyal.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Actually, my question is, most of the students are going for non-core branches for placement. They are going non-core sectors for computer and all that, no?
Yeah, I mean, driven to some extent because of the difference in pay packages, right? So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not as if engineering jobs are not there, the core jobs, but the pay, there is some pay difference because of which but as other faculty members has said, after a few years they realize that it might have been better to stick to the core area. So they either come back for higher studies or try to go back and change their field.
So in spite of going non-core areas, after doing some core area engineering, can anyone go for CS directly for some other state college like DC and all that?
Yeah, obviously you have that choice, right? Nobody is stopping you. It's a choice that one has to make, right? The student, their family have to decide what exactly they prefer. If you're looking at it more from a perspective of, I want to do a BTech in computer science, no matter which college or university I go to, then obviously you have certain restrictions. But my opinion, if I were to, say what my opinion would be in this about this, would be that, considering the experience of IIT Delhi, the flexibility that the system offers, and the opportunity to interact with faculty members here who are so committed to teaching, research, etc., and the facilities that IIT Delhi provides, definitely is advisable probably to take up any branch in IIT Delhi versus just going blindly for computer science, because that's where the market might be paying more, but money is not going to buy you everything, right? If you like the job at the end of the day, you will sleep well and enjoy your life, rather than even if the job pays you well but you don't like that job, it really doesn't help.
And like before coming to IIT, everyone considered that my interest is in coding, I will take CS. But trust me, you have no idea what interests you. After coming to IIT, you will get to know that like this is my interest area, because you have 3 years to explore and you get a great exposure of different things, different environment, like where you have to go, like what interests you. So I would suggest ki don't run behind like CS or coding. Come to old IIT or good IIT and explore 2 to 3 years, and then you will find that what interests you.
Sir, like I had a question that suppose we want to carry out research, we find that we have interest in some other subject except for our branch. Instead of our branch, we have interest in carrying out research in some other branch. then do we have that kind of flexibility?
Yeah, so there are lots of opportunities that the institute offers. During summers, there is something called a summer undergraduate research program where you can do research projects with faculty members from anywhere in the institute, right? It's not specific to any department. So if you are, let's say, a student in material science, but you want to do a project in with somebody in mechanical or electrical, you're always allowed to do that. And the students also have mentioned that faculty are open. Any IIT Delhi faculty will be happy to you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sir, is there means any way if we are doing like BTech and we can switch to MS after 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, so there are some advanced standing programs. If you go to that document that I just mentioned a short while back, courses of study, there are options there to do an advanced standing program where you get a Master of Science also. So you can sort of seamlessly continue your BTech and then you'll get your BTech and then you continue on to getting a Master of Science degree also.
Okay. And sir, I also want to know, means if a student from IIT has an interest in finance sector, will he get opportunities regarding this?
Yeah, so all opportunities are open to all branches, right? I mean, most 90-95% of the jobs are open to everybody. Any UG student, there are very few companies which sort of restrict who can apply for a particular job. So really doesn't matter which branch you take up.
Specifically in finance sector.
Yeah, so I think most companies do not put any bar on which branch you are pursuing, right? So as long as you have the necessary skills for that job, so you have to compete with the computer science, let's say, students for a computer science job, then you have to be as good as they are, right? They're of course going to pick, if the computer science student is better, they will pick him or her. But if you are able to put in the extra effort that you can come up to the same level as a computer science student, I don't think the company will care whether you have a BTech in computer science or BTech in some other branch. So skills are more important. So if you can pick up those skills. Yeah, so last couple of questions perhaps before we close this. Shivanshi, do you have any questions, Shivanshi or Shaili?
Sir, could you please help me with the name of the YouTube channel of ITD?
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll post the links for the YouTube on the schedule page where you found these Microsoft Teams link. We'll post the links to the YouTube videos also.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sir, I also have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, is there any disadvantage in taking the new branches, like energy branch is now introduced in IITD, means there will be no seniors and all? Will it be disadvantage?
So we'll talk about the energy program in the next session, which will start at 4 o'clock. So students may add, seniors, I don't think it really matters so much. Ashi, Rupesh or Sanskriti, you want to add anything about that?
See, like material and chemical will be like most of the course will remain same, I guess. So you will find senior to guide you. So don't take tension of that.
Okay. So thank you.
Yeah, I would say that if you do not have seniors in some aspects, you might be better off. You will then make your own decisions, right? Rather than be biased by what the seniors might say on a lighter note. So don't be worried about that. And faculty is always there, and newer programs, the department, the institute itself is going to be more interested in ensuring that those students are well supported.
Yes.
Okay, so thanks.
That yes, what Professor Session said, that I can say that from the department side, that we'll have more discussions in next session. But of course, even if seniors are not there, faculty and the department would like to ensure that all the queries or all the concerns are addressed from the student. And regarding the seniors, my personal opinion is that it matters. Seniors usually you don't look to only that branch senior. It's usually the hostel senior, right? So even if that same branch students are not there, the other students are there, they will give enough guidance. So you don't worry about that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
And you will find your own way.
Yes, Rupesh is right.
And that's always the best. Because you are the best of what is your interest and what are your skills, right? So Shaili, do you have any question or?
No, sir.
Okay, then I think we'll conclude this session here. I'd like to thank all the faculty members who joined the panel here, all the student volunteers, and of course all the audience, all the candidates joining this session. Thank you so much, and best wishes to everyone, and we'll see you in the next session starting at 4.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you,
Best
sir.
wishes to all. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Wish you all the best.